What's up, people? Welcome to Blockchain Investing. Wingless here today. Do you think we're headed for another Great Depression or another recession? Because the government keeps printing dollars, the government is bailing out Greece like crazy. The IMF has approved another $1.8 billion loan. Things are crazy. And I got an interesting theory. I've been looking into Milton Friedman, and he says that I was looking into the causes of the Great Depression, because if we're coming into a depression or a Great Depression again, we need to figure out what happened in the first place back in 1929 and why that happened. And the general consensus is, if you ask anyone, they will tell you that it was a failure of private business. I asked my wife, that was the first thing out of her mouth. But as much as this pains to say, now bear with me, hang on, I'm bringing it around. As much as it pains me to say this, it was the government that failed to act that caused the Great Depression. I know, it pains me. I really hate to say this, but I'm gonna make sense. Okay, so the government failed to produce cash and give cash to the citizens between 1930 and 1933. I think it was like a third of all of the money in the United States was depleted, was drained, was gone, disappeared, poof, gone. A third of all US currency. And because there was such a constraint on the supply of money, everyone choked and freaked out and ran to the banks, and everyone wanted to get their money. And that's what everyone was freaking out about. And then, so now let's fast forward to today. All right, let's say we have another Great Depression. Let's say that something happens that everything goes to shit, okay? I have an interesting theory now, because the world that we live in today is different than 1929 because of Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies have changed the entire face of the planet now. So we can no longer have a place in time where the government can't give us enough money, right? We can't, that's not going to happen anymore because we have Bitcoin. We have a competitor to the US dollar. You hear what I'm saying, people? We got something to combat the US dollar. So if the US government and the Fed, no matter what they do, if they print a shit ton of money or they don't print any money at all, the people that hold Bitcoin are going to rule the world. We are going to be the elite, and we're going to survive this economic collapse that we're headed for. What happens is, everyone's afraid that what happens, the economic collapse, is that there's going to be no more jobs and everything is going to go to shit. My friend was arguing with me today saying there's going to be no jobs and Bitcoin's not going to be worth anything because no one's going to have any cash. No one's going to have any money. And I just was telling him, you're not going to need cash at that point. The people that hold the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies of the world are going to rule the show, guys. Me and you, if you're holding Bitcoin right now, you need to figure out a way to produce value in order to give Bitcoin. We're going to produce jobs for these people. We're going to give jobs for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrencies. The people that have excess amounts of cryptocurrencies, if the US dollar goes to shit, the people that hold the currency that's actually valuable are going to have jobs for those that don't have anything. We are in a world now that can no longer be a depression. We can no longer suffer a Great Depression. We can go through some recessions and some drawbacks, but it will never be a Great Depression anymore because we got Bitcoin, we got competition of currency. It's amazing. I just am so glad that I live today in this age and time. It's amazing. And I will not believe the fear and the FUD of a Great Depression and that there's going to be no jobs, or even that the robots are going to take all of our jobs. Jobs are, people want to communicate value. We're always are going to want to communicate value with each other. We're always going to want to be interacting and transacting with each other. We're always going to have jobs for each other. It's ludicrous. And if the only people that aren't going to have jobs are the people that rely on someone else to employ them. If you go to a place of employment or you ask someone for a paycheck, you're doing it wrong, folks. If you want to succeed in this world, you're going to have to ask people for money. If you can produce value for the most amount of people, you will make the most amount of money. You don't have to go and try to produce value for one person and one company. Try to touch the lives of as many people as you can, and you will be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. And that's not even counting money, guys. It's amazing how you will feel. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. It's an amazing time. Like and subscribe, guys. Peace. Have a good one.